with the year as a whole, have you gotten to take a chance at any point in this year and kind of sat down and been like, this year's been insane?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the middle part of the year where I took some time off or where I've had an extended period at home, I've definitely reminisced a little about the period, but also about the season. But I've also been motivated to finish the year strong, knowing that I still have tournaments left in the season.
And then one more before I open it up to media. Have you decided on a favorite point in this year, whether it's on the course, off the course, the Met, becoming an aunt, any of that?
All of it. Honestly, becoming an aunt to little Grayson would be my favorite, obviously off the golf course, but I think all the moments that I've gone through, the lows and highs, they've shaped me to, who I am. They're constantly shaping me to who I am. I'm constantly growing, and I can't pick one certain point because I've just enjoyed kind of all of it.
Yeah. All right, Sarah.
Obviously, after Sunday's win, I'm back here.
Oh,
you're good.
like,
hiding.
Looking.
Obviously, after Sunday's win, I know you've got to be feeling really good about where your game's at. But coming into this week, just how confident are you feeling in your game? Obviously, knowing with what you've been dealing with recently with the neck injury, but how confident do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good about my game. It's nice to have my coach, Jamie Mulligan, out here as well for the practice days, and definitely going to prioritize rest these next few days. So, yeah, I mean, I know that, I have the ability to play well. I've played well on this golf course. I feel comfortable out here. So it's more about prioritizing probably rest and recovery after last week.
Obviously, nobody has 7 wins on their bingo card for a one season, but did you ever had one season with 7 wins on your LPGA Tour career bingo card?
No, honestly, it's been a crazy year. I'm grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for the highs. I'm grateful for the lows. I'm grateful to be doing what I love in front of people, hopefully inspiring the next generation. And it's tough. It's really tough to win out here against, such great players. The caliber of players is really, really high out here. And I would say it just, to me, really, really nice to know that all the hard work that I've put in with my team is paying off.
And then last one for me, you putted lights out last week. I mean, it was incredible seeing all those putts. You just buried them. What's been working with your putting, or what have you found with your putting that's really that really helped lift you to victory last week, and that's working well in Bermuda specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I putted really well with the Scotty, the square back at the beginning of the year, and then kind of went through a little bit of a slump in the middle of the year and just needed to look at something different. And the Spider was something that just sat really well after the Olympics. I mean, I putted really well, put it into play at British, and then played putted well at Solheim, played pretty well in Cincinnati, and then my next event after that was last week. So overall, really happy with the putter, and sometimes you just need a change up. It's never going to go your way full time, but it's nice to look at something different occasionally.
Nick? Oh, you got it.
Oh.
Nelly, obviously you won and won big this year, but have you ever thought what a $4 million win would mean?
No, I have not. I am a type of person that likes to stay very present, so you can ask me that if I'm in contention on Sunday.
Last week, the slow play issue popped up again. Do you think it's an issue on LPGA?
Yes, I personally think it's a pretty big issue. I think it's not good for the fans that come out and watch us. If it was me personally, I would be very, very annoyed watching for 5 hours, over 5 hours, 5 hours and 40 minutes, close to 6. I just think it really drags the game down, and I think that it really, really needs to change.
I'm not sure if you heard Charlie's solution, but
I did, yeah. It's funny.
Do you have your own solution?
I think that just needs to be players just need to be penalized. Rules officials need to watch from the first group. Once they get 2 minutes behind, 1 minute behind, it just slows everything down. I mean, to be standing over a putt for 2 to 3 minutes, that's ridiculous. To be, when a group in front of me is on the green and I'm in the fairway, I'm already getting ready. I'm getting my numbers ready. I'm talking about the shot. So by the time it's my turn, I already have my game plan. Like I'm hitting right after the person that just hit in front of me. I think people overanalyze, one, and I think people just need to be ready faster. People start their process a little too late and they stand over it too long. But again, I think we need more people on the ground to monitor pace of play. I don't think we have enough people to monitor it.
With this year, with the interest in women's sports and the interest in obviously your success this year and the interest in Caitlin Clark's play in the WNBA, do you think the LPGA has done a good job of capturing that moment and promoting that?
Obviously, I'm the one hitting a golf ball, but at the end of the day, I don't know the logistics behind everything. I focus on my career and what I'm doing, so I don't really know if I can answer that question.
Maybe on a similar topic, with a lot of change afloat in men's golf and women's golf, there's a lot of ideas on the table. I guess if you had a pitch to make, what's a big ticket change you would make?
Well, one, I would focus on pace of play. I would circle back to pace of play. For us to be, I think we need primetime TV. I feel like we need more hours on TV. We have a great product out here. We have so many amazing stories, and we just need to be on primetime TV.
Is there a lower ticket item that maybe only is really specific to you, something that really kind of bothers you that you just wish, I wish they would fix that?
Nothing's really coming to mind right now, no.
Okay. Thanks.
We'll go to Amy.
Nelly, with $4 million on the line for the winner this week, what do you remember back about when you first got started, your first check when you were a professional?
Yeah, I was in Bahamas. I just remember I finished inside the top 5, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I have enough money to get me through for the next couple of weeks. Because obviously going from Symetra, back in the day was Symetra, now it's Epson. You didn't really have, one, I was lucky enough to have a sponsor to help me. And then two, every paycheck really counted at the beginning. So for me, playing well right off the bat took some pressure, took some weight off my shoulders. But to see the difference, even from 2011, I've been lucky enough to kind of know what life on tour kind of is like through Jess's eyes, through Jess. So to see the steps and the progress that has been made since 2011 is incredible. And hopefully, we keep taking advantage of the trend of women's golf and all the amazing stories and women's in sports and continuously rising from it.
Do you remember how much that first check was for?
I think it was around 50 or something. Yeah, something around there.
You said after your win last week, referencing your round, it's not how you get started, but how you finish that's important. And you could probably use that to describe your season as well, getting off to such a strong start. And now here you are again, finishing out the year. In your mind, what would be a finish that you would be proud of here this week?
I'm just proud of everything that I've overcame this year and everything that my team and I have accomplished. So no matter how I finish this week, I'm going to be proud of the season and how we've all worked together. Finishing high is just going to be a cherry on top, obviously. But the goal in mind is to come out here and try and win. But that's not going to take away from how proud I am of my team.
What do you feel like was that biggest challenge that you overcame this year?
Just the middle part of the year, a little bit of a mental slump. Just kind of, I said, at the beginning of the year, it just felt like it was kind of flowing. I would never say golf is easy, but I was just in a state of just a flow. And then in the middle of the year, it just felt like the hardest thing in the world, and kind of overcoming that with my team, being able to lean on the people that mean the most to me. I think that was probably the hardest, but also the most rewarding.
Would you say you're back in the flow?
I mean, hopefully. Gosh, with golf, it's just up and down. It's a roller coaster. You can never be comfortable.
All right, we got time for a few more. With Beth Ann.
Nelly, your own personal pace of play is aspirational. Did you come by that naturally, or was there a point where you realized that deliberating too much wasn't good, or anything in your own personal routine?
Jason actually has to slow me down sometimes. I don't know. I'm just always like, my first instinct is your best instinct. So you see it, you hit it. It's either a 5. Today with Charlie and I played together today again, 3 rounds in a row, practice round. And she was talking, it's like, it's either a 5 or a 6. Like, you got 2 options, right? It's either wins off your right, wins off your left, wins into, wins down. Like, it's just, people just try to overcomplicate it. And I always say, like, your first instinct is your best instinct, I would say, and just be ready when it's your turn.
And then you were talking about, when you got out of the flow, was there anything that someone on your team said that really resonated, that you kind of play over in the back of your mind mentally to help you get out of that?
Yeah, I mean, I have such an amazing family and such an amazing support system outside my family. The people that are on my team are like my family, and just having them all there for me, and just realizing that it's not a race, it's a marathon, and you're gonna go through ups and downs, and that's just life, and life is gonna throw you curveballs, but you gotta dodge them sometimes as well, or sometimes they just gotta hit you, and you gotta dust yourself off and get back up again.
And just one more, if I could. I know you planned to play in a few more extra events.
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't gotten injured.
Yeah.
What is an ideal number for you? You think of events that you'd like to play each year that is reasonable for your health as well?
Yeah. I like to float around the 20 number, 22, around there. I mean, that's kind of my sweet spot. I don't like to play over 3 weeks in a row. So just making sure that I do take time off for my body, my mind as well, is really important. But I haven't hit it in the past 3 years, but around over 20, just over 20. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we'll finish with Nick. One more.
Nelly, kind of a lighthearted question, and it's
Yeah.
instruction-based, but my 16-year-old nephew is trying to break 80 for the first time. He shoots in like maybe mid-80s, high 80s. What's one tip you would give him?
One tip I would give him, well, 2, is a lot of people that I see that are AMs never have a stick down on the range. If you don't know where you're aiming, there's a high chance you don't know where you're aiming on the golf course. So that would be tip 1. And tip 2 is I see a lot of people stand on the range and just drilling golf balls, or just practicing a lot instead of going out and visualizing. At the end of the day, golf is a game of creativity, and you're never going to have your A game. And one day the wind's going to be off the left, one day the wind's going to be off the right. The hole's going to play completely different, and it's all about creativity. So going out and playing a lot.
Perfect.
Thank
And then
you.
one last one on the Zoom. Sorry, Nelly. Kent, go ahead.
Circling back to slow play, wondering if you saw Charlie Cole's proposed solution for slow play on tour, and if you have any solution for trying to improve pace of play.
I didn't completely
Can you
hear
repeat that, Kent? Sorry.
It's very muffled.
Hear me now?
Yeah, unless someone can just translate it to me.
Yeah, ask it again, Kent.
Sure. Wondering if you saw Charlie Cole's solution to slow play on the LPGA, and if you have any solution yourself to fixing slow play out on tour.
If I saw Charlie's?
If you saw Charlie's, and what would your what would your response? Or your,
My solution would be that I think we need to start monitoring. Obviously, the LPGA know who the slow players are. I mean, the rules officials by now know that there are people that are a little slower. So making sure that they're monitoring those groups, and even if they get 1 minute behind, I mean, you just got to be on top of that, because then everyone else falls behind.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Nelly.
Thank you.